Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Life with Chelsea for I about to say General Hospital. This is for the Bold and Beautiful May 15, 2025. Okay, so first of all, let me know y'all thoughts down below. Also, I gotta let y'all know ahead of time because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to record tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the Bold and Beautiful General Hospital or Beyond the Gates. I might be able to, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, hey y'all, what did y'all think of the episode? Let me know down below. I was like, okay. I said, now, Steffi, it's one thing to tell Hope because she is the mother of his child. She is best mother and stuff like that. She has a right to know. She has a right to prep her daughter and stuff like that. You already went against his will, his wishes by telling Hope. Now she done told Taylor on today's episode, y'all. She told Taylor, I think Taylor walked in. Well, I know Taylor walked in on her crying or wiping her tears and stuff, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And they tried to say, they tried to pass it off as nothing. And she was like, "I know my daughter." I said, "You could have told her anything. You could have told her anything. You didn't have to tell Leon's secret because he already felt some type of way because she told Hope. If I'm not mistaken, he told Hope that it wasn't Steffi's place. Now she done sit up here and told Taylor as well. I said, go on tell everybody at that case. At that case. Go on tell everybody in that case. Hold on, y'all. I said, in that case, you might as well just tell everybody. What they call the little thing that you get on the speaker thing, the little microphone thing where you announce to everybody it's a bullhorn. I don't know if it's a bullhorn. I want to say it was a bullhorn. She might as well get on the bullhorn and announce to the whole. Where is they at anyway? LA. I don't know where they at. But yeah, on today's episode, she don't snitch. She don't snitch again. But yeah, we're gonna start with Liam, Hope, and then Carter because he showed up at the end of the episode. Look, he was smiling when Liam said that about them being together. That her life is now with Carter. He was smiling, he was happy. But then she told us, no, my life with you. I said, no. I said, might as well go on over there to Daphne. She sure waiting on you. But yeah, Liam and Hope was still talking about his illness and the fact that he's dying and stuff. Hope ends up telling him that she's not giving up on him. She's not giving up on Hope. She's going to be there for him every step of the way. And she starts suggesting once again that maybe they could find somebody. I think Taylor suggested the same thing, that maybe they could find somebody, a specialist or something like that, bring in a specialist or whatever. I said, at this point, I'm feeling like they going to end up saving him. The way they acting, I don't know. But yeah, she told him she's not giving up hope. She's going to be there for him every step of the way, and still talking about maybe there's a way or whatever. And he was like, he didn't want to focus on that. I think before that, he ended up having another headache or whatever, and he was about to. I said, go to the hospital. I said, maybe if they run more tests or something, they'll see like, okay, it's actually this and it is treatable or something. Every time. Then he told Hope on today's episode that the headaches and stuff getting more frequent. He says either a bad head pain or is it or excuse me, or is it either dizziness or whatever. So she offers to take him to the hospital, and he was like, "No, or whatever. What are they gonna do?" Or what? I thought he said he wasn't giving up. I thought he said he wasn't giving up or whatever. But yeah, he said he didn't want to go to the hospital. He's like, he'd rather stay there and reminisce and talk about the life they shared and all the memories. So they sat there and they sat there and they brought up the doggone memories again. Every episode is a memory, but this time, it was flashbacks from the past though. So at least it wasn't, something that happened recently. But they did a flashback where they was getting married. She was walking down. I about to say down the aisle. She was walking down the steps and stuff. They did a flashback where he proposed. I said, why they didn't do no flashback when Steffi? Remember that episode or that scene where Steffi was the one that proposed to Hope? Basically, she just slid that ring up on her finger and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, this ain't how this supposed to go. And Leon just stood there. But yeah, they was reminiscing about that. Let me see what else happened before we go on to the next people. Yeah, they was just reminiscing. And then that's when Liam ends up saying, although, they shared some good memories and stuff like that, their time is up. She now has a future with Carter. She told us no. Because at first Carter showed up. He just left from telling Daphne. She didn't know she talked about stuff. And he showed up. The door cracked. I see when that door get cracked. Who cracked that door? Come on now. But yeah, the door is cracked and he just opened it up some more. Yeah, so they didn't see him. But yeah, and I said, how do you start hearing them out? They don't made their microphone. No, hold on. I got distracted. But yeah, they you can hear their whole conversation outside of the door or whatever. But yeah, what else happened? That's when he was saying once again that her future is with Carter now. And Carter was smiling. He was outside the door just smiling and proud or whatever. Then she told me, I said, no. And he started looking all shocked and disappointed. He told me, I said, no, she want a future with him. She want to stay there with him and have him and Belle together and their little family and stuff. I said, let her go. Even when you find out that Leon's sick, let her go. People are speculating now, y'all, that they're gonna have a wedding. A wedding, because he's supposed to be dying allegedly. So they're supposed to get married. And I was like, at this point, let it go. Even when you find out that he's dying, even when you find out that they're gonna save him or something like that, if they save him, I was like, let it go, because she keep proving that she don't want him. She keep proving that she does not want him. And I don't know if I agree with him being with Daphne, but I know he got to be with somebody eventually. But at the same time, it's like she do too much. I don't know about that yet. But yeah, who else we got? Steffy, Finn, Taylor. Steffy and Finn was still talking about the choice she made to tell. She over here, how you over here second guessing the fact that you told Hope? Then you sit up there and told Taylor. You must not have that much regret. But yeah, she was like, she's second guessing if she should have told, because Hope is gonna be struggling, and Liam may be able to tell that something's wrong or that she knows, because they share this future, and she really loves him and he really loves her. And I said, it's funny how they finally acknowledge each other's love for him and what they meant to him and stuff like that now that he allegedly died. But yeah, that's what she was talking about. And then what else? I think Finn was just supporting her and stuff like that. Who he was texting? Do y'all think he was texting Leon Doctor or something? Hold on. But yeah, he was just supporting her, and she started getting all emotional. That's when Taylor walked in or whatever, and she was asking what's going on. They tried to pass it off as nothing, and that's when she was like, "I'm your mama, I know," or whatever. And then I'm assuming Finn gave her a little nudge or whatever. He didn't say nothing out his mouth, but it kind of seemed like he was nudging her to go on tell. And she told, but they didn't show, everything. And once again, I said, now I understand Hope knowing, because she got a child by him, and she gonna have to tell her daughter that her daddy dying eventually and stuff like that, and prep her for it or whatever. But at the same time, with Taylor, that's a whole nother story. He already told Hope it wasn't Steffi's place to tell. Now she done told somebody else. But I'm just assuming that they ready to reveal it to everybody now, and that's why somebody else knows. That's why they let Taylor find out, so they could tell everybody. Everybody could start crying, fake crying and stuff. And then next thing you know, they either gonna actually take him off there, or they're gonna find a cure, or find out that, oh, he's not really dying. He doesn't actually have that. But yeah, I've been waiting on Bill. That's the aside from Steffi and Finn, not Finn, Steffi and Hope. I want to know how Bill gonna react. But they already don't miss the opportunity, because they told each other what they mean to each other and stuff like that. So I don't know where they headed with this storyline, y'all. Let me make sure I cover everybody. I know we gotta do Carter and Daphne, but y'all know what happened. If you've been watching this storyline, you know what happened. Then she had the audacity to say, I know I'm repeating myself. I said, well, stop. Well, stop. Well, let me see. I wrote down in regards to Steph, I said Chatterbox finna tell again. Before she told, I said Chatterbox finna tell again. Let me see. Taylor talks about specialists. Yeah, Taylor was talking about maybe they could bring in specialists and stuff like that to help him, and because she was in disbelief as well. And I think that's it with them. Carter and Daphne. So he was thinking about Hope again. She walked in, she's like, let me guess. Basically, you thinking about Hope. So she ends up saying how she's worried about him, that he set himself up for an even bigger fall or whatever. And then she was just talking about, I talked to some people around here. They told me about Hope's dating history and stuff like that. I said, well, if that's the case, you should have heard about everybody dating history, because they all don't share men and women and everything else over here licking this honey up off his head. It's all about Donald licking it. I'll never get over that. I said, wait a minute now. I said, they doing that for real, ain't I? Hope her hands were clean. Well, was it her hand? Yeah, I think it was her hand. I don't know. I forgot how the scene go. I said, I hope her hands are clean. But yeah, I was like, if that's the case, you should have heard everybody. This is what they do. So I don't know why. But yeah, she was telling about, she heard about Hope dating history, trying to make it seem like the girl just out there or whatever. And he was like, well, you should have heard about mine too, because I got involved. Excuse me, I got involved with Eric's wife and stuff like that. And I was like, at least he being honest. He being honest or whatever. And she just still talking and talking. And I was like, definitely, just give it a rest. So then she tells him that ultimately Hope's gonna end back up with Liam. And I was like, she ain't lie about that part now. I said she ain't lie about that part because he just heard for yourself. Even when you find out, she gonna come to him or whatever and be like, it wasn't like that. He's dying and that's why or whatever. And I say, don't fall for it. It's a trap. Hold on. Cause I don't know, maybe I'm like I said yesterday. I don't know if that was for General Hospital, Beyond the Gates, or the Bold and Beautiful. But I said maybe I'm harsh or something because I don't think two things. I don't think the whole life is short thing should excuse or make you go back to a situation of a person that you done try with first of all and it didn't work or they just bad for you and stuff like that. And I definitely don't think that if they dying or if it's a holiday or anything like that, y'all know I speak on this all the time. I don't agree. I may be alone in this, but I don't agree with that. I don't think, if anything, life being short should be more of a reason why you shouldn't want to be with somebody that's not good for you, not the reason why you go to them. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. No, that's all that happened. After he got done talking to Daphne, um, he got mad and he left, and that's when he went over to Brooke Place, and that's when he heard her say no, she want to be with Liam. But that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, do some tag girls today and be safe.